Hello बच्चों, let's read this question. The question says, from the following bond energies दिए गए हैं. For H bond, H single bond H, the bond energy is 431.37 kilojoule per mole. For carbon double bond carbon, the bond energy is 606.10 kilojoule per mole. Carbon single bond carbon, the bond energy is 336.49 kilojoule per mole. Carbon single bond hydrogen, the bond energy is 410.50 kilojoule per mole. So using these bond energies, we are asked to calculate enthalpy for the reaction, which is C2H4, that is ethene reacts with hydrogen to form ethane. So it is kind of hydrogenation reaction. So here we have four options. Option A, B, C and D. Option A says minus 243.6 kilojoule per mole. B says minus 120.0 kilojoule per mole. C is minus 553.0 kilojoule per mole. And D is minus 1523.6 kilojoule per mole. So let's first understand the key concept involved in this question. So जो key concept involved हुआ है, it is the calculation of change in enthalpy for a chemical reaction. So एक chemical reaction दिया गया, उसका enthalpy change पता करना है. Using क्या यूज करके? Using bond energies. Using bond energies. And enthalpy change is determined by the formula total energy required to break bonds. Energy required to break bonds minus total energy required to form bonds. So we'll be breaking bonds at the reactant side and we'll be forming bonds at the product side. So now we'll see which bonds are broken in the reactant side. Bonds broken in the reactants. So the reactant is ethene here, that is C2H4. So which is represented by C double bond C, and each carbon will carry 2 hydrogen. So if we see the structure thoroughly, we can say that we have to break 1 carbon double bond carbon and 4 carbon single bond hydrogen. So these bonds we need to break. So next we'll see bonds formed in the product. So product side में क्या bond form हो रहे हैं, that we'll see. So at the product side we have ethane, that is C2H6, and we can write ethane as C single bond C, and each carbon will carry 3 hydrogens on them. So therefore if you see the structure, we should form 1 carbon and 6 carbon hydrogen. So these bonds are formed. So now let's calculate the enthalpy change. So the total energy required to break at the reactant side is 606.10 plus 4 into 410.50 kilojoule per mole. So this C606.10 is for carbon double bond carbon and 410.50 is for carbon single bond hydrogen. So this minus, and the product side we have carbon single bond carbon is 336.49 plus 6 into, for carbon single bond hydrogen it is 410.50 kilojoule per mole. So if we solve this, it will come as minus 551.39 kilojoule per mole. So if we see the options, the closest value to this is option C, which is 5 minus 553.0 kilojoule per mole. So based on the calculation, we can clearly say that option C is the correct answer for this question. Hope you all have understood. All the best.